Hi guys, I'm back today with a video on a brand that I have done a video on before, and the brand that I'm talking about is Care Beauty. Now, the original video I did was on just kind of a smaller palette. It was green. Does it surprise any of you that that was how I picked it up? And I was really impressed with it. So I actually was very excited when I saw that they were releasing another palette that had quite a bit of green in it, and then another palette that I normally probably would not pick up, but it did also have green in it. It's more of a rainbow palette, and I don't really have a lot like that in my collection, so I figured, you know, they had a bundled price, so I went ahead and got both of them. And so the two palettes that I got, let me just pull them up here. So this is the Time Traveler palette. Now this, obviously, is the green palette. Normally they're $26.99. When you get both of them, you get them for $45. This is what the inside looks like, and to me, it's kind of weird that it was released this time of the year because this is like a fall dream, personally. Like, to me, I've swatched everything, I've used a lot of the colors in here, and I see this being something I could use constantly in the middle of fall. And not just that, but something else I noticed was when I was swatching it and when I was using it, it really reminded me a lot of a few Melt palettes kind of mixed into this. So if you've been wanting to try Melt, the quality is not quite the same. Well, the quality is kind of similar, actually. The mattes are very easy to use, the metallics are good, probably because Melt doesn't have my favorite metallic formulation. That's just me being honest. I love their color stories, I love their artwork, I love all of that, but their metallics are very hit and miss. Now this, they're very good. They perform pretty darn well. So if you are wanting to maybe have that kind of color story experience, but for less money, this is a really good way to try that. So I'm wearing a lot of these shades on my eyes today, and a lot of the shades from the other palette that I'm going to show you in a second as well. So there is that one. Then the other palette that I got is called Mind Trap. And that is what the outside looks like. It is extremely bright. The inside is kind of like a study in neon rainbow. I didn't realize that these colors were going to be this bright, and then I started swatching them and I was like, oh my goodness, because they are just like boom in your face. There it is. So it looks like this, and you know, honestly, this is an all matte palette, and I'm not actually crazy about all matte palettes. However, using it in conjunction with any other palette, I think is really nice to be able to add to whatever look you're doing. I think that, you know, there's a shade here to fit in with any other palette you may have. Plus, it seems like there's been a lot of palettes coming out recently that are all metallic or all shimmer. So for me, this is going to be something I can use when I have other items like that. So I will definitely look forward to pairing those together in the future. Again, the mattes are very, very good. Not just that, but the neon shades are extremely like pigmented and neon. It's crazy. I was like shocked. When you see the swatches, you'll get to see that. So that was also $26.99, or again in the bundle you can get it for $45. Then I did actually get one of their liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Magic Wand, and this is $4.99. Now I am wearing it on the bottom, but I do actually have a shock of all shocks. I'm wearing my Ronvier Villa Mill lip gloss over the top. The thing is, I just got an allergy test done and I'm allergic to more stuff, so I've really got to look back through everything in my collection to make sure that I am not going to use something that can cause a really bad reaction, because unfortunately the newest was almond, and almond oil is in a lot of things, and almond in general is in a lot of things, so I have to be extremely careful now. The other two items that I picked up was I got a blush palette and I got a bronzing palette, and honestly, you guys, I'm really shocked how good these were. And actually, you know what? The liquid lipstick was really good too. It lasted really well. It dried down pretty well. The color was really nice. The color itself reminded me of a JSC color. I want to say it was like Celebrity Skin. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since I've worn any of those. And I thought it was pretty darn good. So if you're looking for like a very affordable alternative to something like that, maybe check out some of their colors. They don't have the biggest range yet, but I hope they keep adding to it because they are really comfortable and good quality. I like the packaging. I like that it's kind of ombre sunsetish. Like, that's kind of my jam. And then this is the inside. I did actually use every single color that was in here. I used them together. I will include a video of me using each of them. I used these two as my blush today. Now, obviously, I'm very, very fair-skinned, which maybe you guys can't really tell in this lighting because I feel like I look very glowy, which is like, it's a complete lie. But what I did was I just took a very bare minimum amount and I kind of dabbed it onto my skin rather than just like smearing it on like I normally would. That sounds really weird, who smears it, but I do apparently. And then I used, I think, both of these for my highlight, and I've used every color in this. This was a really good deal. These are both $14.99, and if you're looking for an affordable blush palette or even a bronzer palette, or you can use, to me, I use them kind of interchangeably. So sometimes the bronzers I will use as blushes, and that's okay. I mean, that's just how I roll. So in any case, I do really like this. I think it's a great value. I was shocked how good it is. Honestly, because like that's the highlight I got going on. Pretty darn good, I would have to say, truthfully. And I don't think it adds a lot of texture. I think the finish actually reminds me a lot of the Jaclyn Cosmetics. and actually it reminded me of another one too. It reminded me of Jaclyn Cosmetics and a little bit of the Clarity. Clarity's a little bit softer, but the texture was just like the Jaclyn Cosmetics one. So the name of this is the Lighting Hour Highlight and Blush Palette. So I apologize. I totally was just like, it's a blush palette, but it's blush and highlight. So in any case, that's the name of that one. This one is the Bronze Goddess one, the highlight and bronzing palette. Now, for me, I was like really scared to use this. Now I did actually use this today. I took just the barest amount of this and I kind of worked it in gently. I kind of tapped it in and then I kind of like worked it out. So you guys will see that on the video as well. And the highlight shades in here again are just really nice. So definitely think that these are really good and worth your money. If you guys do want to save some money, I have a code with them now. First review I gave with them, I did not have a code. I just want you guys to be aware that yes, I am affiliated with them now. So you can take this review or leave this review. That is completely up to you guys. The code is Jaclyntriesit if you want to save some money. It's all one word. If you don't want to use it, that's totally fine too, but I will never not be transparent with you guys. I did purchase these with my own money. It was not gifted to me or sent to me or anything like that. So if they weren't good, I would just let you know. There is a pressed glitter in Time Traveler and I am not big on those. I will never like them. It's just me and it's because I am so sensitive. So that is my take on that. You are welcome to support me in that way if you want to, and if you're not into that, if it makes you uncomfortable, please don't worry about it. It is not a big deal. In any case, I am going to go ahead and swatch both of these palettes for you, and then I'm going to do 2 eye looks for you. If you guys are interested, I'll also be adding some videos where I am using the bronzers, the highlights, and the blushes, and also the lipstick as well, so you can check those out if you are interested. And at the very end, I'm going to come back and give you my final thoughts, so you probably already know what my final thoughts are. Anyway, here's swatches. The first shade is called One Way. And this is a really nice kind of peachy white shade. Next shade is called Magic Concept. And this is like a white topper shifting greenish goldish shade. The next shade is called Going North. And this is a really pale pink kind of like ballet slipper shade. Next shade is called Float On. And this is a really nice peach shade. It's called Infinite Moment. And this is a really nice kind of copper shade. Next shade is called Adventure. And this is a slightly more orange peach shade. The next shade is called Where Am I? And that is more of a brassy gold shade. It's called Into the Sunset. And that's a really beautiful kind of rust tone called Destination. And that's a really nice like fall orange shade. Secret Gate. And that's a gold with orange glitter particles. The next shade is called Wanderlust. That's a beautiful gray tone purple shade. Next shade is called Road Trip. And that is like your quintessential Pat McGrath burgundy. Next shade is called Past Self. And this is like a pea green shade. Next shade is called Compass. This is a really nice kind of fall toned orange, but it is more yellow than this one. This I'm going to do the smallest swatch I've ever because it is a glitter shade and it's called Vista. Because I just don't know how this is going to react and it will probably not be good. But this is like a beautiful kind of mix of all of the shades in this palette. It's got gold, it's got orange, it's got green, it's even got some purple particles in it, I believe. Next shade is called South. And I apologize, I got my blood drawn today, so you will notice that probably. This is another kind of yellow toned orange, but it is still more yellow than that one. And this is the shade Drift Away. I'm sorry, you may hear my husband cussing in the background. He's playing a video game. This is a really nice red tone orange called Peace of Mind. And this is what I'd like to consider like brick red. Well, like, you guys know like old barns that have aged? red, that's that color. The shade is called Picture Forever. And this is a beautiful leaf green shade. Remember Me? And this is kind of silvery green. This is the shade Navigator. And that is more of a grass green. This is the shade Roaming. And this is like a greenish gold shade. It is very pretty. This is the shade Possibility. And this is a really cool like gray tone green shade. The Long Way. A green teal. Shade is called Rewinding.
What the fuck is that?
And this is like a brown toned orange. It is awesome. The shade Nostalgia. And that is a red toned orange, but it is different than this one. Shade Scrapbook. Wow. And that's just a really beautiful, rich brown metallic shade. Open Road. It's a beautiful red toned brown shade. The shade Memories. That's like a blackish grayish green shade. A slate green, if you will. Shade is Get Lost. And that's a true matte black. It's the entire Time Traveler palette. Okay, the very first shade in the Mind Trap palette is called Get Lost. And that is just a really true white shade. It's called Restless. And this is like a Pepto-Bismol pink. Peel. Woo, that's fluorescent, my friend. And this is like a neon freaking pink for reals. Like, I could build that up to even be, like, more, like, in your face. Next shade is called Euphoria. And this is a really nice, like, pastel purple shade. It's called Altered Mind. And that's, like, almost a neon green. The shade Stay Fresh. Wow. It's like a neon cerulean. It's called Check Yourself. A slightly yellow toned white shade. This is the shade My Dreams. And this is a beautiful pastel orange shade. It's called The Spot. Which, I'm sorry, I'm trying to move my arm because I had some, I guess picked up too much, but I hardly picked up any. This is like an even brighter neon pink. Like, this has almost got a slight hint of purple. This is neon pink. And Free. And this is just like a slightly more deep purple than this and slightly more pink undertoned. This is the shade No Worries. Guys, I hardly have any that I'm even picking up, and it's just too much. This is like another bright neon green. In fact, some of these are almost too bright to look at for me. This is the shade Freedom. And this is probably one of the prettiest blues I've seen. Bright blue that has a small hint of purple to it, which you can't really see in the camera, but I promise in real life it's there. Let's see. And that's a really nice pastel yellow shade. Egoistic. And this is like an orange toned hot pink. This is the shade Speed It Up. And that's just a really nice pink shade. It's called To the Max. And that's a beautiful purple shade. It's got like a slight bit of pink to that as well. This is the shade It's a Vibe. And this is a really cool kind of slightly blue toned green shade. It is called Hooked on It. And this is almost like a slightly green toned blue shade called Rise and Grind. And that's like a neon long shot. And this is very similar to this one, actually. The shade Real One. And this is like a neon red. Shade Make It Special. And this is just a really nice purple shade. Shade Beat It. This is like a neon leaf green. It's called No Limits. And this is just a really nice navy blue shade. Good Always. And that is a true yellow. This is the shade It's a Wrap. And this is like a watermelon pink shade, which is funny because it's with the watermelon rind color above it. This is the shade Fast Lane. Which this name reminds me of the Eagles. And this is like a neon orange shade. This is the shade What Is It? And this is like a gray toned purple shade. Shade In a Trance. It's like a teal shade. This is the shade Endless Night. Which I would consider to be a slightly, it looks very matte black, and it is matte, but it's not quite like midnight black. It's like, I don't know, not quite there, but it looks like it, so we'll just say matte black. Is the whole Mind Trap palette. Okay, you guys, I am back, and I want to give you my final thoughts. So, you already know what I think, and I'm gonna just put it out there. Number one, I love a green palette. Like, I love a green palette, but for me, I just tried to open this up upside down. Don't judge me. Anyway, so this, I seriously, like, I wish that they would have, okay, I'm glad that they released it now, but I wish they would have waited for fall, because this is just like the quintessential fall palette in my mind. Now, if you are a lover of grunge, or you like these shades like me, you will be able to utilize this year round and be completely happy with it. The other thing was, yet again, if you were really interested in the melt palettes, I think that you will be really excited to try this, because they are very kind of like grungy, murky. I just, like everything good in my soul is in this palette. So then the quality is really good. The mattes are really nice. The metallics are really good. They're not the most metallic metallics out there. Me, I like to pair like some of my favorite indie toppers or shades right over it. So I mean, I still get a pretty nice little sheen here, but is it the best metallic? No, it's absolutely not, but it is still very, very good. The other palette that I got was this one, and again, I'm not normally crazy about an all matte palette, so you guys already know that. However, I do have a lot of just metallic palettes in my collection, so this is a really nice kind of pairing to go along with that. So if I want to lay down a base, pretty much of any color at this point, now I've got these here. So this is good quality. They do work really nicely. I was surprised how pigmented the actual neons are. So if you are looking, there again, if you're looking for a neon palette, maybe for summer, this could really be your winner. I am just putting that out there. These right here are seriously some of the best ones I've used in a little bit. Now, I have like Natasha Denona, I have Pat McGrath, I have Jaclyn Cosmetics, I have Clarity, I have Give Me Glow, I have a lot of bronzers and blushes and just like a whole range of things from different brands. And I've got to say, I really think that these held their own, like amongst them personally. The prices were really good. I think that the performance is really nice, and I definitely think they're worth checking out. Oh my gosh, I didn't show you what they look like again. So just in case you didn't watch the beginning, this is what the inside of the highlighting and blush palette looks like, and really nice shades, kind of a really good range in there as well. And for the highlighting bronzing palette, that's what the inside looks like. Now, these do look like, especially some of these look like they're going to be too orange tone, but I felt once I used them and dappled them out and then kind of worked them out, I didn't really get that feel from it. I just feel really bronzed. So if you're looking for a warm tone bronzer, these are the ones for you. If you're looking for cool tone, this is not it. And then lastly, the liquid lipstick. I personally thought it was really nice. I definitely think that, I mean, it's comparable with a lot of liquid lipstick formulations out there. You're not going to be disappointed. The price is really good, and if you're picking up some other stuff and you want to reach their free shipping threshold, boom shakalaka, throw one of these on there, give it a shot, and compare it to a brand maybe you don't want to support anymore, and I think you're going to be really happy with it. So in any case, I really hope that this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, make sure you leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.